at the point at which I started my platform, I was Yummy Mommy then. So my content was heavily based on me as a mom, me parenting, me navigating, being a new mom again, because my son was like 6 years old. So when I had my daughter, I felt like I'm starting afresh. And for me, it was less about sharing with people and more about I want you people to help me. You know, losing weight, your new body, the way your stomach is sagging. And for me, all those things were just like, am I the only one going through this? Because I need people to help me. So I started posting as a way of like forming a community where like other moms can also be like, hey, even me, I'm going through that. Even me, my breasts are engorged. Even me, this. So for me, it was just like part of my life. And at that point, it wasn't like I was thinking, oh, I don't want to share this, I don't want to share this. It was my social media is more of like a diary for me. So it's like a diary of like, this is where I am at this point in life. This is where I am at this point in life. And my kids are part of that, you know, and I didn't want to actively, every time I'm shooting something, it's like, oh, wait, hide her face. Oh, wait, move the baby from there. That's not what I wanted. Because at that time, also, it wasn't a job. It was just me just sharing. Before now, people came and started following me, and here we are.
I think my whole content creation journey has kind of just happened. So even for the kids, at the time I started sharing content, I had one child. And at that time, I just felt like the biggest changes that were happening in my life, or the biggest, the biggest changes that were happening in my life at the time had something to do with the fact that I had become a mom. And I wanted to share. I wanted to share with people. A lot of them were kind of like, oh my God, what the hell is this? Are other people going through this? So it just happened kind of organically, because before that I would share mostly fashion content.
I am always careful not to portray them in a vulnerable space. So for example, I'll never film my child when she's crying or having a tantrum and post that, because that's a really vulnerable place emotionally, you know. Or if she's going through something personal, you know, like in the toilet or something like that, I wouldn't ever film that. So it would be like things where even if you were to walk outside here, you would see the child playing in the yard, things which are, you know, commonly acceptable as like, this is just what kids do kind of thing. And then I've realized that as the kids get older, there are different boundaries that they have. So with Mukeni and Mutana, they're still at the age where they are really like fascinated by the fact that I film them, and then sometimes they see themselves on my phone, or people come up to them and they're like, oh, I know your mom from Instagram, I've seen you on YouTube. Like they'll watch my old YouTube videos and be like, that's us. So they're still excited about it. And at this point, they're always just like, oh, mommy, take a video of me doing this somersault. Mommy, take a video of me doing this. But Ethan has now reached the age where like many times he doesn't want to be on my Instagram, and I respect that. So if he says don't post me, or if he just doesn't want to be in the video, I completely respect that. And so many people are always asking me like, oh, you don't post your son as much, when you don't love him as much. I'm like, when did the standard of love become how much you post your child? Please.
I'm in control of the content that goes up that has my kids. So that's how I kind of strike the balance. So I only share what I feel I want to share, mostly around certain milestones or different things my kids are going through at different stages of their lives. Because the way I like to share my content, I like to document. So I like to document my motherhood journey and just show snippets that I feel other moms will relate to or will kind of be consoled by.
I've had a few instances where like someone has posted a picture of the babies on Facebook and they're like, oh, welcome to the world of my newborn. I'm like, huh, wait, that looks exactly like my newborn. I could swear that's my newborn. So in such cases, obviously, I feel frustrated because not only is it an infringement of my copyright, but also that's not your child, you know. I would say that's one main challenge. Another one is because people see me post a lot online and like posting my kids online, sometimes we'll meet out in public and it'll be like we are friends, but like really we are not friends. So like there was this one instant, I think I was at just like a local cafe or something, and this lady came up to me and like I was with Mutana, I was holding her hand and she just picked Mutana up and just like hugged her, and I just felt like, stop, what are you doing? We are not that close, because I don't know who you are, I don't know where your hands have been, you know. So sometimes there's an issue with like boundaries. Most people respect them and they understand like just because I see you online and I see your life, it doesn't mean that, you know, we are close enough for you. I'm not your kid's auntie, like really. You're an online auntie, but you're not like a real life auntie. One last challenge I would say is when you post your children and the way you parent your children, people on the internet are very quick to judge how you're parenting them and judge what you're doing. So like if you post, oh, this is what they're having for dinner, where are the vegetables, why are they not eating whatever, when you guys don't eat ugali, how comes they're just eating, kwani kwa hii nyumba mnakulanga chips mara ngapi, you know, things like that. Or you know, it's like you post them as they're going to bed, they're in a t-shirt and shorts, hey, simvalishe sweater, when you want your child to get a homa, you know there's something which is going around. So there's, oh, that one is the one which I would say is like the most, people always have an opinion, people always want to enforce their kind of parenting on me.
The fact that when I'm out with my kids, I'm hyper aware of the fact that there may be people there that know my kids and might be keeping an eye on what's happening a bit more than they should. You know, for example, if I go to a restaurant with a playground or whatever, I know there might be other parents there that might know us from the internet. And my worry is just kind of like, is somebody looking for something that my kids are doing? Because you know, kids, when they're out, wherever they are, they will be themselves. Yeah, so I think one of the things that I'm a bit nervous about sometimes is whether my kids being themselves out there is going to be taken by someone else and just spun into a bad thing.
So maybe for Ethan, I could say like him is very aware of the fact that people, like whenever he goes places, people recognize him, people say hi Ethan and whatnot. But I wouldn't say that the pressure is on them. I wouldn't say that they have ever experienced that pressure. Maybe it's because right now, for that question, maybe my kids are still a bit young, but for them, they really just don't. They just live their lives the way their lives were living before. I don't think they in any way, you know, feel that pressure. I think I feel that pressure on their behalf.
They don't quite know that they were born in the public eye. My older daughter will sometimes ask, when somebody walks past us and says, hi Sharathi, she'll ask, why do they know my name? So these days, she kind of knows that they've probably seen her on my Instagram. And we had an Instagram page for her, we no longer have it. We lost it. You know, Instagram can be like that sometimes. So we really do encourage confidence, just being yourself. Being able to express yourself. So if you're not comfortable in a situation, let us know. If you don't like what's happening somewhere, if people are talking to you too much, it's okay to say that I don't want to. I'm cognizant of the fact that there are bad people out there. There are people who choose to just be mean. Luckily, I haven't experienced much of that. But yes, it is a fear that kind of like still lives at the back of my mind. So I try to be calculated in what I share. I try not to share things that are very controversial. But the thing is, if you are sure that you want to raise your children in a certain way, whether that's the right way to other people or not, you just keep it moving. And if it's an opinion that could have some merit, you know, you think about it.
Most of it I ignore because over time it was more difficult, obviously, when I first started, because then I used to take everything very personally. When they would just be like, no, how can you do this for your child or whatever. Sometimes I would like, you see these buckets out here, I would like put them for them out here because it's a hot day, they're just playing, and someone would just be like, just put your child in a bucket, kwani unaishi wapi, kwani, like, you know, very critical things, which for me is just like, I just wanted my kids to just play with the water. Like, what's wrong with them just playing in the water? And then it used to really get to me. But the longer I've been in the game, I would say that now I really just don't think twice about it, because I've gotten to a realization that, one, a lot of people are just projecting based on their limitations as a parent, based on their own ideas about what parenting is, which they feel everyone else should be adhering to, which obviously is not the case. We all parent differently. For example, there's someone who messaged me recently. I had taken a video of like one of my kids riding their bike, and they were like, oh, you know, May, don't allow my kids to ride bikes because it can affect their virginity. You see, now that one is just coming from a point of ignorance.
Yeah.
So I was like, one, please allow your child to ride a bike. Imagine being a kid growing up and not riding a bike because your mom thinks about that. people can be really critical. So if you do decide to post your children or anything that you decide to post, you just need to be prepared for the unsolicited advice, the any hate comments, the insults, the judgment about how you're living your life or what you're doing in your life, kind of thing. Just be prepared for that, because it will come for sure. And it's not even a question of does this person like you, does this person not like you. A lot of people don't even like themselves. They don't even like themselves, so how are they going to like you? And so someone will literally come and hate you as a stranger on the internet because you have said that, oh, my kids want to enter international school. Now it will just be like, me, I was just saying my kids go to an international school. Someone will be like, so you think you're richer than all of us, eh? So you think us, we can't afford. No one has said anything about you, sweetie, But now they internalize that, because for them it's like, if you haven't made peace with who you are or how you are, then anything anyone else says feels like they're judging you.
If you're not comfortable sharing your kids at all, that's fine. You can actually do it. We've seen it being done. I've seen creators who do that. They create content for a living, but you will never see their children. Then there is, I guess, the next tier I feel would be moms like me, who get to pick and choose, okay, or rather who choose what moments that they want to share. Yeah, you don't have to share everything. I think that is the main thing. You don't have to share everything, and if sharing nothing is what makes you comfortable, don't share anything.
Everything I post is because I have decided I want to do it, not because I should do it or I have to do it. So I will tell people they should take it as it comes. And if at any point you feel uncomfortable, you feel unsafe, you can also just decide to do something completely different. The best thing about being an adult is that you can literally do whatever you want.
Before you share something about your kids, also think about the fact that the internet never forgets. Your kids might see this someday, many, many years from now.